We all know about the telephones being switched off on the way out, so I'm not going through that one there. We're moving on to the agenda. I'm going to ask Camilla if she'd give you apologies for absence, please.
Chair, we have apologies for absence from Councillor Jonathan Elmer, Councillor David Hall and Councillor Paul Taylor. Thank you, Councillor. We'll note those apologies. Thank you.
Minutes of the meeting held on the 15th and the 23rd of June and the 31st of August. Can we agree these minutes, please? Thank you. Declarations of interest, anyone? None. Revenue outburn for the period ending the 30th September 2021 and project outburn to 31st of March 2022. Can I ask Treasurer Jeff Carroll to present his report, please?
Thanks, Chair. This is the usual report we bring for the forecast of outturn for the Charter Trustees. It's up to the period the end of September, so halfway through the financial year. As noted at the beginning of the report in paragraph 3, expenditure to date is 34,000, so that's actually below the profile budget to date. But more importantly, in paragraph 4, our forecast for the end of the year is that there'll be an underspend of 13,521 against the original budget that the Charter Trustees set for this financial year. We did originally intend to draw from reserves in kind of setting the budget for this year for £15,162, so we will end up only drawing 1,641 from the reserves. Naturally, the main reason for the underspend this year is linked to the fact of the pandemic and that there have not been as many events as we would normally expect to be the case. The rest of the report goes through and identifies where there's been variances against the budget that's set. As we'd expect, the major variances are within transport costs and supplies and services, around transport, travel, and the utilisation of the Mayor's hospitality budget. So, in terms of the impact on the reserve for the Charter Trustees, the balance at the start of the year was 75,114. The drawing is only forecast to be 1,641. So we're forecasting at the present time that the reserve for the trustees at the end of the financial year will be 73,473. The key thing to raise, in addition, as far as this report's concerned, is the plan for budget setting for next year. Colleagues who were part of the Charter Trustees previously will recall that we'd utilised the £1.90 precept for a number of years, and that had been the agreement of the Charter Trustees. And we previously agreed that as part of budget setting for 22-23, we would bring forward options for yourselves for what your plan may be for setting precept for the following 4 years. So our intention would be to bring a report to yourselves for the December meeting that would identify a range of options that you could have in terms of precept setting for the future years. The fact that the reserve that you have is still sitting at 73,000 as forecast will no doubt give you options for what you want to do going forward as the Charter Trustees. In terms of actually deadline for setting the precept, there's another meeting scheduled for the 26th of January. The County Council has to be advised by the end of January of your precept, so we will still have a second chance to meet on the 26th of January if Charter Trustees wanted to have some further considerations. So that's just to tip you off that meeting in December. We will be bringing a longer report to yourselves on your options in terms of precept setting for the future. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks very much, Chair. Do any of the trustees have any questions, please?
In that regard, I'm more than happy to take a steer from yourselves if you would like to have a small group working together. I'm happy for that. That's been done in the past. Or happy to bring a report for December and maybe have a group after that. So more than happy for yourselves to consider.
said that we could look at options. I just wondered, what are the range of options? What kind of options do we have, please?
Yeah. In that regard, the options for yourselves would be you may well wish to invest some of the funding as the Charter Trustees, or it's your choice if you want to increase your expenditure as far as the Trustees is concerned. If you're happy to run with a budget similar to what you've got right now, we could consider whether the reserve level is high enough for you to set a precept for more than 1 year. But again, we would put those options to yourselves, and it would be for yourselves then to determine. So again, back to, as Jan identified there, if you want to have a group that looks at those options, we can do that, or if you're happy to take the report and then do it afterwards. So I'm happy for either.
All right. Thank you. Could I ask the trustees to note this report, please? Thank you. Item 5, any other business? I have not been notified of any other business. That includes today's business. Thank you all for your attendance. It was short and sweet, and thank you very much, though. Thank you.